when this damn thing actually starts. There we go. Yeah, but it says 0, and I don't know if we're actually recording. All right, so hello, everyone. This is actually a rebirth and resurrection and repurpose and whatever other I can use of my old podcast, Not the Brightest Crayon, that is now going to be used for not only failed attempt D&D purposes, but hopefully the D&D community. I hope to have all of my own players on so that they can lie to my face about how good of a DM I am, and maybe even members of the other members of the D&D community to talk about their experiences. And to kick this off, our first episode of the Resurrection is one of our own for failed attempt D&D. Go ahead and introduce yourself and what character you play.
So I'm Ty, and I am the resident duality player. All of my characters have had some kind of duality to them. The first one being the boy, Octavius, who had met an untimely demise.
Yes.
We'll get more into him later. And then I now play Yorrick Evermore, an aspiring historian who doesn't actually know anything about history, but he tries.
Yes. Oh, and stay tuned for Weird Science with was that with Octavius? That was with Octavius. Historical Facts with Yorrick. That was with Yorrick. But yes, Octavius might be dead, but he is not gone. First off, let's go way back. When did you first get into Dungeons and Dragons? And when did you first get into it, and what made you get into it?
So I started playing Dungeons and Dragons back in middle school. My friend group casually mentioned it one day. It piqued my interest, and I was like, hey, what is that? They're like, oh, it's a tabletop role-playing game. You make characters, and you go on this adventure through crazy lands with magic, elves, dragons, and all sorts of different creatures. And me being the person that I am was like, bet, sign me up. We did a little kind of like a little solo adventure just to get me introduced to the game, which is actually where my D&D friend group started calling me Sparky after my first character, Sir Spartacus. Who also met a very untimely demise.
I was going to say, there sounded like a funny story in there.
He ended up falling off a cliff. I fell over 100 feet, and that was the end.
I mean, what level were you? That's only 10d6 damage.
I think I was like level 4.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, since then it's become a hobby of mine that I don't really tell a whole lot of people about. But now that I'm actually in a really fun group that we're trying to make a name for ourselves, I'm starting to open up about it a lot more, and I'm starting to embrace that side.
What's like, do you have any kind of background that helps you with your, because like from my experience with playing and lead in games, like imagination is obviously key. The willingness to jump into another person's shoes and act like someone other than yourself is huge. Do you have any experience that aids that aids the imagination, the acting, the drama, if there is any? Do you have basically any background that helps you with it? Because a lot of people just jump in and they have no idea what the hell they're doing, but some actually have means to help.
So being a theater kid and growing up with live shows and character creation, that's really helped build a character, because all of my characters that I've personally built started out as a voice that became personality, character design, and then it builds into this character that I'm like, you know what? That sounds really fun. I'm going to translate that to a D&D character and start building off of that. That's how Yorrick came to be. That's how, well, no, Octavius was a different story. Now, Octavius was supposed to be a joke character at first, just to get myself back into the swing of things. And then he became so much more than that.
Obviously, I know the answer to this question, but it's for the people listening. How did you get attached to this group, to your current one, to Failed Attempt? How did you become attached with this?
So I joined the group after I met you. I met you personally through the job that we worked at, which really kind of shocked me, because you didn't seem to give off that hey, I play Dungeons and Dragons kind of vibe. So that kind of shocked me. And then after meeting the rest of the group that you had compiled, everybody just kind of, we all just kind of fit. It felt right. The interaction was very natural and doesn't seem like anybody's like, yeah. It just, it keeps me coming back.
Fair enough. I know. Well, look, if you go on to our playlist, Campaign 1, The Royal Guard, the episodes start at 20, and there's a reason for that. We had a program that didn't work through Discord, and so for the first 19 episodes, including Octavius's untimely demise, we recorded it, but it never hit YouTube. So that's a story for another time.
Yeah, fuck you, Craig.
Yeah, fuck you, Craig. And there's a reason we open with that every single time. Without talking about your character yet, what would you say is like the biggest, and don't be shy about it either, like the biggest good difference, the biggest bad difference, if there is one, between the first episode that you came in and now? Because I mean, you've been with this group for what? April was our 1 year mark.
I've been there since technically episode 3.
Yes, so you've been with the group for 19 months.
Not quite as long as Christian, but pretty close.
Who was here from session 0.
Right.
So he really only has 3 episodes on you guys. That's all he's got. Like, he has the very beginning when things weren't going so well, and 3 additional. That's about it. That's the only difference. He does have a lot of insight that you guys don't have because of those 3.
Right.
Which we'll talk to him later. But like, if you could pinpoint, I mean, even if it's a couple of them, a good difference, a bad difference, between when you first came in to now, like group wise, game mechanic wise, anything. Like how I am as a DM, how you are as a player, how they are as players, because the group has gone through a whole lot of changes. So good differences, bad differences, anything between then and now.
I know me personally as a player, I feel like I've grown stronger at interacting more with the world, paying closer attention to the smaller details, the larger details. My game sense has improved so much, and thanks to the little quips here and there when um like when a ruling comes up, it's always a discussion and it's never you're wrong, you're wrong,
Yeah.
which I personally appreciate, because other groups that I've been in before always had those one or two people that were like, that's not how it works, you're wrong. And it's like,
Yeah.
it's up to the DM's discretion at the end of the day. But
Oh
I
yes.
do.
Yeah. Thank God we don't have any rules lawyers. Sorry to interrupt.
No, I'm right there with you on that one.
Oh my God.
It's always a discussion, and it's never an attack at somebody.
Yeah.
Um, I feel like everybody has really opened up a lot more and has become a lot closer as a group, which is really starting to affect the way that our characters interact with each other. And we're starting to get a better understanding of, okay, maybe at the beginning we were still trying to get to know each other, and it made combat and interaction kind of clunky, and it seemed kind of forced. But now it flows very smoothly, and I like it. I really do. It's a breath of fresh air.
can you pinpoint an example from clunky to smooth? Because like I have several, but this is for you, not for me.
I know, like towards the beginning of the campaign, like when we were in Selvetti fighting the goblins, after going back and rethinking on those combat episodes, like, man, if we had worked together better, that fight could have been so much easier, and there's a lot of stuff we could have done, like, as a team, using teamwork attacks, using each other to get an advantage. And then now, like with the like the most recent episode with the Blue Dragons, and then the Brotherhood fight, everything that we were doing, we were actively planning as a team. Okay, so I'm gonna do this, and then you do that. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think it was. I think it was more of an accidental benefit from Malador launching the firework with Garrison being so close. And it just so happened that Garrison is immune to fire.
Yes, because of one of the rings that he got at one of the shops he went to.
But it could have been intentional, because earlier in the episode, you did make mention that Garrison was immune to fire, and then you made mention of it again after the explosion.
Mm-hmm.
But everybody works together a lot better, and coordinating attacks is a lot easier.
Here's going to be an interesting question, and for anyone who's going to be watching this video, and for you, this interview is not for me. This isn't for you to stroke my ego as a DM. So it's never going to be like, how am I? No, I don't give a shit. This is about you and your gameplay. An interesting question, which I just kind of popped into my head, and a fun one. You as Tyler in the world of Mundos, if you were to choose a player character or an NPC, who would you be? Everyone that, like, all the players, and of course Yorrick and Octavius and all the NPCs you've met, you as Tyler, who fits you the best? Like, who would you be in the world?
Honestly, my brain immediately goes to Birdman Lyle.
Oh, Pigeon Lyle?
Yeah.
Fair enough. Oh man, yeah,
God, I miss him.
He was one of my favorites too, and yeah, fuck it, I'll spoil it. The plan that you and Steven have, is, I love it so much. I'm actually not going to spoil that one. That you guys are going to have to wait and see. But the plan that you two have is hilarious. I love it so much. I really do.
I just can't wait to get yelled at by Garrison.
I so fucking love that, because it's that plan that you two have is quite literally like afterwards, like during that 20-year period that I'm saying, what are your characters doing? It falls in there. So it's just dice rolls to see if anyone even notices. It's yeah, I can't wait. Because that's really going to affect what happens going forward if you guys are successful. Okay, so you play Yorrick Evermore, yes?
Yes.
But from what you just said, it sounds like this is your second character. So when you came in on episode 3, what was your character? What did you start as?
My character was a were-octopus artificer named Octavius Felspar.
Okay. What was the inspiration? Well, aware, so that's what they turn into. What were they naturally?
Naturally, they were in Eladrin.
Eladrin. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so. We'll just call it Eladrin. I'm sure people will kill us in the comments, but it's okay.
Probably. But and he was more of a he was also a artificer, but he leaned more into the sorcery aspect instead of a martial aspect.
Yeah, because there are different types of artificers. They
Right.
can go a lot of there. Did he have a different name, or was it also Octavius?
His name was Zinthus.
Zinthus, okay. What inspired you to make a were-octopus?
It all started with a meme online that I saw, and I was like, you know what? That sounds really fun. And thus, I attempted to create the Gloctopus. He's just going to be a little octopus that had 8 guns and would just go to town with the firing.
Fair enough. And what happened? How did he meet his untimely demise?
Unfortunately, me being the little goober that I was, I forgot to prepare spells. And I went off alone at level 3, only to get attacked and eat by a giant demon snake thing.
Sounds fun. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. That part was
Rest in
recorded.
peace.
Yeah, that part was recorded, but unfortunately no one will ever hear it or see it. So that's to be that'll probably go into like after campaign discussions where we talk about all the shit. Then I think you had to sit out a couple episodes, right? Where you were building York. It wasn't immediate that you came back in.
I only sat out one episode, but I still showed up to listen in on the episode.
Yeah.
Because that was before we were able to actually really record what was going on.
Yeah, because we weren't recording by episode 1. So for anyone who watches, and we thank you for doing so, and please continue. The group that we have now for failed attempt is completely different from the one we started with. Christian, who plays Vidar, who you'll see later, is the only one that's been here since the beginning. Jake, Tyler, and Corey.
Yep.
So Malador, Yorrick now, and Garrison joined in on episode 3. And then from there to, I really want to say like from episode 3 to like episode 30, if I go back and look, the team underwent so many different changes of just people leaving to people joining to people leaving to people joining until we finally have the group that we have now. And the 2 newest ones in the group right now are Judd, who plays Steven, and Kara, who plays Cammy. But yeah, I'd say we have a really solid group.
We do.
Because like everyone keeps coming back to play, which is nice. It is getting
everybody's
more and more
a
fun.
blast. Everybody's a blast to interact with, and
for real. And this is gonna make me sound really fucking old. Like, we have been playing together now for 19 months. You realize on the team, Jake has been here the longest in terms of the 2 youngest ones. He was 18 when he started. I have watched him grow for the last 19 months. Like a weird, proud dad. It's so fucking strange. Because I have a daughter that's almost 18. So it's just fucking weird. So Yorrick, how did he come about? Because again, you did mention, okay, so Octavius and Xanthus, one was an Eladrin, one was a Wereshark, and now you have Yorrick, who
Octopus.
you said was also, yeah.
You said Wereshark.
Wereshark, that's Malador. Octopus.
I mean, to be fair, Octavius and Malador were starting to become good friends.
Yes.
And then he died.
Yeah, that's fun. To go into a little more detail on that, so they were in the town of Cooper Tandem, which is south of Salvetti and in between there and Gaudium. And they were going to start heading west toward Coast City, knowing that it was a long trip and they were going to be in the desert for quite a while, which is a whole other conversation.
Desert.
And then Xanthus got a small mission from the item shop owner, Donan. He just asked you to go into Salvetti and retrieve some items, like a little side quest. And instead of telling the team, you wandered off by yourself. And then instead of the team going out to look for him, they just pinned a note to Donan's door on the item shop door and left for Coast City. And then that was it.
And then when we made it back to Cooper Tandem, the note was still pinned to the door.
Yes, and falling apart. But the only real indication that Xanthus Octavius was deceased was Vidar seeing a zombified state of him in the desert just outside the cabin that everyone first saw Malador naked. That was moment one. By the way, Malador's been like naked the entire campaign. We just don't talk about it anymore.
It's become something normal.
Because every time he goes wereshark, he rips through his clothes. You know, there's no real way. He's not the Hulk. He doesn't have stretchy clothes. But yeah, that was like the first indication, but then no one mentioned it again. Which was really, it was like several episodes until anyone was like, hey, where's the octopus guy? So that's kind of what you were talking about at the beginning, where no one really like cared at the beginning. It really was every man for himself and like scatterbrained, and no one really knew what they were doing, including me. And believe it or not, like Octavius was you introducing yourself back to the D&D world. This was me introducing myself back to the D&D world, because I hadn't played or DM'd, I want to say, in like 5 years prior to this game. So as much as you guys have started fresh and evolved, it's been fun. It really has been fun.
It has been a breath of fresh air to have a group that's actually excited about playing together and interacting with one another.
Right. So yes, back to this. Yorrick Evermore, what inspired him and what is he?
He is a half-elf Aasimar who is trying his best to take after his father and make a name for himself as a grand historian, even to the point of going out on digs with his father and traveling all across Mundos, finding different artifacts and doing his best to, like, age them and catalog them so that future generations can learn about the history of Mundos. And that's how he crossed paths with Vidar. And then after his dad ended up getting injured after one of the excavations, Yorrick ended up teaming up with Trock and going all across Mundos, continuing his father's work. And then the book happened.
The infamous book.
Damn it, I hate that book. I love it, but I hate it.
Tell us about the book.
So he is he's a Pact of the Tome warlock. He's also a Trickery Domain cleric. I know, I get a lot of weird looks and like, why mix a warlock and a cleric?
Well, it goes back to the split. You said you had like all of your characters are split, so that's definitely a split.
Yes,
because those have nothing to do with each other.
He's been a lot more interested in the demonology aspect of history, given a few of the spells that are present in his book dealing with resurrection and abominable stitching of amalgamations. Great episode. Go watch it.
Barry?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Barry.
Yeah. If you haven't watched it yet, go find Barry.
Barry came in clutch about finding our way out. But and then his clerical side awoken shortly after teaming up with Trock. And after finding the book and opening it, after it finally lured his hand to it, it awoke a kind of a mental split in Yorrick's brain, with lighter thoughts of healing and helping clash with death, destruction. God, it's so edgy. Oh my God. I'm the group's token edgy twink.
Hey, it works, man. It has been fun. It has been fun building and watching. It has been fun.
I've had a lot of fun not only playing as, but building upon Yorrick as a character and a person, and I feel like he's definitely becoming a big part of me.
That's actually that's the part that I'm struggling with, because I know on our last live on Saturday I had said probably 2 or 3 more episodes and we'll launch into campaign 2, and I know everyone is eager for campaign 2. I am too. I'm already building it. But the thing that bothers me is, like, now that the group is gelling together so well, everyone is finally actually being able to explore who their characters are and what their characters want, what they're all about, personalities and everything else. And now that y'all are like fully immersed, we're about to end and move to different characters. So like the entire campaign 1 was just the group learning how to be a group.
Yeah, it was basically the training wheels phase.
Yes, it really makes me look forward to what campaign 2 is going to be, because now you guys all know how to interact and how to build and how to, everything's going to be going. But it also makes me sad because, like, who are these characters and where are they going to go? Like, if we had in us like 20 more episodes for campaign 1, where would these characters go? Who would they be?
Right.
But it's fine. It's fine.
And I mean, an idea I had would be like, say there's a day where not everybody's able to play, and instead of canceling the main campaign for campaign 2, whoever is available, we could maybe do like a solo of their character from campaign 1 as a where are they now?
Yeah, well, I mean, that's kind of what the idea of, like, tell me what you'd be doing in 20 years. Because the characters, I mean, unless y'all in the last episodes of campaign 1, unless you all die, you're still going to be out there in the world. You won't be acting as them anymore. They're going to become my characters, but they'll still be out there. So, like, if we jump 20 years ahead for campaign 2, what are your characters going to be doing? And at some point, that means you may meet up with them again.
Exactly.
Because they're going to be out there. And depending on what you do and how you do it and where you do it and how well you do at it, your new characters might bump into your old characters. There's always that chance. So, but yeah, you are right. Because, check out our one-shots too. We're going to be finishing Tomb of Horrors, which is probably going to end up being like 3 or 4 episodes to do that one, because episode 1 didn't go that well. We did more screwing around than anything, like we always do. And then I'm doing
Well, we were also having a lot of technical issues.
Yeah, that part. And then I'm going to be doing a battle royale one shot where I'm allowing anyone who's going to be playing to pick any character that they have played dead or one shot, and leveling them all the way up to 20 and putting them in an arena. And it's not going to be them fighting NPCs that I make. It's going to be them fighting each other. So those are two things to look forward to. And then we have your one shot to look forward to that we can launch in between campaigns, which gives you more time to build it. And then I think Jake had one as well. So we have a lot of things.
I will spoil the title for it is A Hero's Call.
There you go.
That's it.
Yeah. We are also, and not to deter from the interview, but we're also now doing an afterthought kind of thing where once the live is over and he stops the live and I stop the recording, we jump into an afterthought, which has been dubbed Mental Breakdown, which goes very well with everything else, where we talk about the episode that we just did. So if you are unable to catch the live between Saturday when we go live and Monday night when the live gets taken down off of YouTube, don't watch the afterthought. Don't watch the Mental Breakdown, because you're going to hear about an episode you hadn't watched yet. That's just foreshadowing or a warning or whatever you want to call it. We're going to be having extra videos from each character, which you can look forward to that, like the weird science, the historical, which whatever you want to call Yorrick's historical facts gone wrong or whatever the hell you want to call it.
I think we settled on maybe Mundos Mythos.
Oh yeah, that's right. Then Garrison's got some stuff lined up. Oh, and we are also officially sponsored now, which is a really weird thing to say, because we've been doing we've just been like plugging shit randomly, like Feet Finder as a joke and Adam and Eve as a joke. But we are actually officially sponsored now. Audiobooksnow.com. I will put our official link in the description underneath this video. If you click on that, it's 50% off your first order, 30-day free trial. And yeah, follow the link and you'll support the weird cacophony of whatever the hell it is that we're doing that you enjoy watching so much. We also have Dubby Energy, which I haven't been plugging for some fucking reason, but they're an energy drink company, both powdered and liquid, a lot of different flavors. You can follow that link too. CashApp, follow the link to CashApp. We're unofficially sponsored by them too, which is kind of weird to say again. And then of course our merch store. You can find all of that underneath the video, where you can get failed attempt merch. And I have stuff that I've just thrown on there, character based, and then you can also ask for custom builds as long as it has to do with the campaign. Anyway, yeah, I actually kind of forgot where we were going before I went into all of that. See, this is why I don't do sponsorships. But Jake's going to be writing scripts, and I know you and Jill were planning on doing it as well. So
yeah,
I won't have to burn all of my brain batteries trying to remember shit that I never talk about. Yes,
we've actually got a couple TikTok skits lined up.
Yes, we have a very wonderful team, and it is. Did you know our last live for it was actually episode 93. I had that wrong because I said 94. Yeah, it was actually at 93. Yeah, we're on 93. You have been playing this game for 90 fucking episodes. Just wrap your brain around that. Yeah,
that's a lot of mental torture.
Yes, it has been absolutely insane. Yeah, so here's and again, be honest.
And it's not been an every week thing.
Nope, there have been, well, if you took, this is the way I explained it to somebody else, is if you take the 93 episodes, in order for you to get the true aspect of how long we've been playing, 93 episodes, 93 weeks. That's what you would think. but it's not that. You would have to add another 20 weeks to that to cover the holiday breaks, to cover the weather breaks, the I don't feel well breaks, the work breaks. You'd have to add another 20 to that. So you're talking 113 weeks is how long we've been playing this game. That is a long time.
And I think I've only missed maybe 2 or 3 episodes for personal reasons. So it's crazy to think it's been that long.
It has been that long. Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. It has been quite a while. I actually, oh yes. So again, be honest, we're all friends here. Favorite character, least favorite character. So first, out of your party members, favorite character and least favorite character, and then NPCs, favorite and least, which I already know the answer to that one, but do it anyway.
Personally, out of the party members, my favorite character would have to be honestly probably Garrison. Because his character has had one of the most drastic transformations from when they started to now, only being rivaled by probably Malador.
We won't let Jill watch this.
I love Merida too. We always miss our sassy red panda.
Yes. He says hoping not to be. He says out loud so he won't be murdered later. No, she's awesome. For those of you who don't know, our beloved Jill, who plays our red panda, Merida, and I had said this before, but she got her dream job, which I'm not going to tell you where because that's up to her. But it derailed her ability to play, and now she's still with the company, but she's in the background, doing artistry and merch. And anytime she goes out to like a live convention or a con, brings not only her own business with her that she has very graciously attached to Failed Attempt, but she also brings us with her. So she's always with us, whether she's on camera or not. She's always there.
Always.
So send lots of hearts and lots of loves. She'll appreciate it.
Always.
So now, NPCs favorite, and well, no, you never did your least favorite for players. That's right. We kind of glossed over that one. So your favorites are between Garrison because of his character development, followed very, very closely by Malador, which I agree with both. But then who is your least?
Because they've had probably the biggest character development changes out of the whole party.
Yes.
Least favorite?
Well, let me add to that. Garrison has had the greatest character development because he's one of the least complicated characters that we have. He literally is.
Yeah.
Vampirism or not, he is the least complicated. He is who he is. That's it. He doesn't hide who he is. He doesn't have a fake name. He doesn't have a fake past. He doesn't have shit that people like. He is who he is. That is it. He doesn't wear shit over his face so that people can't see how pale he's become. He is who he is. Malador
he knows who he is.
Exactly. Malador is like right on his heels for character development because he went from like kind of a brat.
Yeah, he started out very loud, obnoxious, and almost childish, and he has grown up so much, and it's
now
I'm proud of him.
He's still like the I know this is going to piss everyone off, but I'm going to do it anyway. But you kind of need that.
Yeah,
You
because
like
I mean, he has come in clutch
a lot
more than we give him credit for.
I think it's actually kind of, I don't know where the balance is between destructive and helpful, but I think he's somewhere in the middle. Maybe. I don't know. Is it leaning more toward destructive? I'm not quite sure.
He's definitely the definition of task failed successfully.
Yes. If anyone wants to actually go back in the episodes and calculate how many times Malador has done damage to his party rather than the enemy, I would very much appreciate that homework. That would
I'm right there with them.
Yeah,
that
that
one.
would be like just a compilation of all the times that he has hurt an unintended person, collateral damage or otherwise, especially with those goddamn cards. By the way, the deck of many things is a real thing. A deck of many things that is super enhanced by Element Crow was mine, and a creation that I have regretted since the day I gave it to him. Anyway, so once again, least favorite character.
This is gonna be weird to say, but honestly, I have to go with Yorrick. I know it's weird.
Because it's yours.
I don't know. He kind of feels very. He's starting to feel kind of clunky to me. Not really clunky, but I don't know how to word it. Yeah, clunky feels right. Like in game sense, he's starting to. I'm not really sure what he's supposed to be. Like the line between a supportive offense and whatever he is now is getting very I don't feel like I'm using him to his best ability. Yeah.
Would you say that he's too distracted for you to really explore it, or is there something else going on with him?
There has been a lot going on lately, and I don't feel like I've really explored enough about the character just yet, even though he's been in the campaign for the longest of any character I've ever played. But yeah, he just I haven't really had time to explore more into him.
True. I know there's been several moments where I kind of like moved the camera onto a single character and said, hey, and then went through an explanation. And then, offering like, hey, we're going to bed down for the night. Is there anything anyone wants to do? But there's always something right around the corner. But that's, I mean, look, I said it in the mental breakdown. Y'all open a door and you cause mayhem, and then you don't shut the door.
Yeah.
You just walk out and move to something else. So like when
That'll
Corey,
sort itself out.
yeah, like when Corey, who plays Garrison, which I'll have him on here, and I'll have everybody on here. Don't worry, even the beautiful Jill, I'll have on here. But like he actually at one point was getting frustrated and angry and said it best, like it's been X amount of episodes and we haven't solved anything. And then y'all ended up, if spoiler alert, if you haven't made it this far in the campaign, you all ended up going to the Crank and Yank and killing Ellenwyn, which was closing the chapter on at least something. But then there was so much other shit before that and after that, and actually going on during that, that you all introduced, caused, and walked away. Like
And
every
even
single.
at that, in the process of closing one door, we blow open like 7.
It's, yeah, I mean the manner of which you do things, but the problem is that on your way to finally writing the last line of a chapter, you start several more along the way, or you don't put provisions in place to make sure that once you close this chapter, the aftermath is where you want it to be. Y'all just
Right.
go in and you write the last line, you shut it, you put it on the shelf and hope for the best. There's no pre-planning. Everyone just kind of goes their own way. But a lot of that was fun. But then again, a lot of that was the reason that it has taken 90 episodes for characters to develop into who they are now, because there wasn't a singular focus. Like every time we tried, like, okay, so we went to Coast City to try and focus in on Malador's backstory. Garrison had something on the side because of a letter that he got in Cooper Tandem that led him to Gaudium and then led him to Coast City. And then, but like we tried to narrow in on one, and then 10 others opened up because people just started going and fucking around and doing their own thing. And then we tried to focus in on Yorrick's and focused in on Vidar's, which is where that solo came from, that backstory solo. And then we tried to focus in on those two, but then something happened over here, something happened over here, and just everyone's attention kept scattering, which again made the game really fun, but made it fucking chaotic, and explains why it took till episode 50 or otherwise to finally close a chapter on something.
Yeah.
Like Judd, who plays Steven, brought up in the mental breakdown. Y'all found that closet full of fucking body parts, realized that there was a serial killer somewhere in Coast City, and did nothing.
Yeah, we just kind of glossed over it. Like, we'll come back to that.
Yeah. I think you accidentally ended up teleporting somewhere. And then...
I think I teleport... No, I didn't teleport everybody.
No, just you. Because wasn't it you and Malador that went to the library, or to that building? Or what? Yeah, to the library. It was you and Steven.
It was me and Steven that went to the library because... or no, Steven went with Garrison to the library because I think those two were the ones that found it. And then I ended up at the library because I wanted to check out more on that cult symbol.
Yes. But you never found anything out about it.
Nope. Because we got dragged out of it.
And I mean, yeah, that's the other thing is like, because when you have so much shit, you got to try to focus in on everything. And some of it was me. obviously, because I'm leading the game and not like letting a moment breathe. Like, could I have let you guys really explore what was going on in that library and maybe chase that, discover who the serial killer was and turn that into a little, yeah, I could have. However, you had a new, active, unpredictable book that I had to make a character by itself, and every fucking time either you rolled or I rolled, it ruined whatever moment we were in. So
I'm just
like,
an
yeah,
inconvenience to everybody.
but like a lot of that was decisions that I made. I could have let moments breathe and really explore what they were, but then something would happen, a reaction or an accidental magic spell or what have you. The flip side to that is you guys never went back to try and
Yeah.
figure it out. You
We
ended
would
up,
start to go back,
yeah,
and
you
then
ended up in the new situation of whatever that was. You solved the new situation, and then you would just move on to something new. So, and every time you did that, it just left something out there in the world that was unsolved. Oh, so here's a good question. Out of everything that has happened, and I know it's a lot, it is a lot, both good and bad and ugly and indifferent, from episode 3 when you came in. Well, no, let's not do that. Let's do when you started as Yorrick, which I think was like episode 5, but it's still relatively new. No, how long did Octavius last? What episode did he die? It wasn't long.
It was episode 9.
Wasn't 9? Okay.
Because 10 is when we started recording,
yeah.
and
yeah, you were
we
already
had
done.
the solo. Yeah, we had the solo just before number 10, and then I rolled very, very terribly. I know, shocker, me rolling terrible.
Come on.
And ended up dying.
How funny would it have been if Octavius died at episode 8?
Oh, that would have been hilarious. Oh no.
Like imagine if all the stars lined up. Level 8 episode, like something with an 8 in it.
88.
Yeah, and 8 legs, and that's when he died. When all the stars lined up and everything had to do with 8s, and he died. So between, let's say, like 11 or 12 when York came in until now, what is the, first of all, what has been your favorite part of the campaign, like event wise, not development or any of that, but like event wise, adventure, quest, information you found out, something that Yorrick did? What has been your favorite thing? Okay, so this is a 3-part. What has been your favorite event so far in all the time that Yorrick's been alive and with this group? What is your favorite thing that has happened event wise? What is your least favorite thing that's happened event wise? And what is something that Yorrick really wanted to do and never got to?
All right. My favorite event that took place was probably Yorrick's awakening, where he got teleported to the same area where Malador found the symbiote on top of the pile of gold, and then there's the tunnels.
Yeah, the caves. Yeah.
Yeah. Because it gave me a chance to use spells that I wouldn't normally have used, and has definitely made me start thinking more about, okay, broaden my horizons, use more spells, like using Pass Without Trace during the Cloud Giant fight. I normally wouldn't have thought to use it.
Yeah.
Definitely opened my eyes to more possibilities, and utilizing my entire kit.
Fair enough. I mean, yeah, I do understand that because a lot of players over time, they'll get as their character levels up, they get excited about the new stuff until it's not new anymore, and then they get overwhelmed by everything that they have, so they narrow it down. This, and this. These seem to work. This is what I'm going to do. And then when those don't work, then they start to broaden out. But they always have that first initial, like, I'm going to use Eldritch Blast. I'm going to use this, and I'm going to use this, and that's their pool. And then that pool will start to expand and deepen if those three things don't work. So I do get it. I do understand. It's a lot.
Yeah.
It's pages and pages and pages and pages. It's a lot.
It definitely helped me to be a better player, a more efficient player. Let's see, my least favorite part.
Besides being rolled up into a ball backwards, what was your least favorite part?
Oh, that painful. But at least I'm more flexible now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, your spine is made out of jello now.
Makes it easier to bend into a spoon shape.
There you
go. Definitely had to be the tear death situation.
Oh yeah, tell us how that happened.
So as we mentioned earlier, we did end up killing Ellenwood Crow, or so we all still believe that she is alive. We didn't actually kill her. We just killed a doppelganger or something. But as far as we know, when we went in there and killed her, unfortunately, Meredith's family was being possessed by her, or by Ellenwood. And due to being in the wrong place at the wrong time, after Garrison knocked Yorrick's book out of Ellenwood's hand, Yorrick made a dive for it, as she was also going for it, and ended up casting Dark Matter, which coned out, and yes, it did kill Ellenwood Crow. However, it also hit Tyr, which melted half of her body away.
That's right. You guys had that that very beautiful funeral for her too.
Yes.
Back
even
in
though Yorrick wanted nothing to do with it, because he still believes that he's an awful person and doesn't deserve he doesn't deserve that. He thinks that he doesn't deserve the joy of continuing to live when he took an innocent life. And it messed him up for a while, for a long while. And I think that's really what is pushing Yorrick to try and be a better person, because he wants to make up for for the wrong that he did. So I hate that happened, but it also fueled Yorrick to be a better person. And that's why he doesn't really rely on the book as much anymore. It's only in situations where it's like, all right, our back's against the wall, we have no other choice, is absolute last resort.
Hang on a second. This concludes our broadcast day. I'll be right back.
Wow. But yeah, tune into our sessions on the weekends, Saturdays. It's always a blast. Be sure to find us all in our socials. Or don't. I can't tell you what to do.
Y'all have just enjoyed staring at his face that entire time, haven't you? By the way, I'm not editing that out, so if you made it here, thank you for sticking around. Yeah, I'm not gonna edit out that like last 3 minutes that I was away from the thing. So if you're still here, thank you for watching.
I'm not good at small talk. I'm sorry.
That is okay. Yeah, no, because you're just talking to yourself at that point, which I've done a lot. Which never mind, we won't get into that.
It's only if I answer myself that there's a problem.
Yeah, maybe. Unless you're in, yeah, that's a problem. So you did your favorite and your least favorite. What is an event that Yorrick wishes he could have been a part of, like an event that he learned about or that he started that he wishes he could have dove deeper into and never got the chance?
Probably. Geez, what does Yorrick know about? I gotta look at my notes now.
I mean, maybe not even one that like Yorrick was a part of, just something that you remember that took place that you wish you could have been a part of. I know. I have to consult all of my notes too. which was really entertaining to do when I had to put together this, what should be the final sequence for campaign 1, going back all the way to my notes of session 1 up until 92 and putting together everything for this last spot. Which the funny part is, like, I can't even really tell you what you guys should know because you don't.
There's a lot that we don't know.
There's so many things that that right now I should be like listing off that you know that you don't know. Okay, so one thing that we do know is the conversation that Ro and Bear had with Steven, that he didn't relay it very well in game, but above table we learned from Ro and Bear that they had broken away from bRiGhTeSt because they were more interested in the business part of it, and they learned that elements within it wanted to wage war and expand. They weren't really in.
That's that does bring up a good one. The fact that Ro and Ver have talked about Salvetti being consumed by bRiGhTeSt.
Yes, that's what they. Yeah. That's what they said.
That it was being overrun by bRiGhTeSt. Yorrick definitely overheard that as he was tending to his dragon and his parents, and definitely feels like if he should have been there.
Yeah, because Trock had mentioned that he absconded with your parents to keep them safe, but that bRiGhTeSt was the one that attacked it, and the reason why it's underwater at this point.
Yeah, and Yorrick definitely doesn't trust anything that Trock says just yet. He's still more upset that Trock got his parents into this mess with the whole Drow Temple and all of that.
What is a Okay, so throughout the entire campaign, I know that there's been a lot of things that you guys started to do, didn't do, wanted to do, wished you could do, all that stuff. If there was one, and this is going to be difficult, this might take a minute to think, or you might have it right off. If there was one question that you could ask me as the game maker, one question that you could ask that I had to answer,
there's a lot of possibility in this one question. Have we already met the bBEG? Have we like either directly interacted with, or have we seen them yet?
Two of you have.
Two of us. Okay.
Two of you have. Well, they don't know it, but they have.
Interesting.
And to further answer that question without giving too many details away, because technically I did answer you, 2 of the party members have met the bBEG unknowingly. However, the most interesting part about that is they weren't originally the bBEG.
Huh.
Dice rolls and interactions and world chess moves and things that you guys have said and done or not said and done slowly developed them into the bBEG.
Interesting.
Funny part is, originally I didn't even have one. There really wasn't a bBEG. You guys and your reputation and your slow bending and manipulating of reality created it. Which has been the most interesting part for me, by the way. Because, again, I knew how I wanted this campaign to end without pushing you guys in a singular direction. I knew how I wanted it to end. But who or what was going to take that place, I didn't know until now. It was a very, very slow build, and it was literally from me going back to session 1, going all the way up to session 92, and going, yeah, all of this leads here. Dice rolls and notes, and yeah, all of it leads here. So, yeah, 2 of you have.
Interesting.
Now, let me ask you. This is going to be a 2-part. Who, because I know, and okay, so you as Tyler, who do you think is the bBEG? And who would Yorrick believe is the bBEG? It might be the same person.
I personally think that the bBEG is going to be so many characters to cipher through. Kind of feel like it would be Donham, or not Donham. Wait, what was his name? Come here.
The Emperor, Dorum?
Dorum. Yeah, Donnan is
Donan's the that's the item shop owner in Cooperton, is Donan.
Yeah, it's him. He's gonna be the Dorum. I feel like it's gonna be him. And then Yorrick would probably feel like Yorrick would probably guess Vidar's dad.
Alcaron?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, what was your honest reaction of They Call Me Rick turning out to be, spoiler alert, turning out to be Vidar's dad again?
I was just like, I knew it. I knew it.
The funny thing is,
This
Jake
man,
called that one. Malador called that one. That was funny as hell.
he did, he did in character. He called it. I had that feeling. I was like, you know what? This man survived so many falls. He seems to be very he's a little bit too lucky.
Yeah, Judd's reaction to that was so perfect. So fucking perfect. Because like I love how like he understands the mechanics of the reality, but he doesn't understand the bending reality. So he's like, how did he know that I was gonna go to Quickminster and recruit people? And just like him going off on that rant was the most beautiful thing ever.
Perfect.
Because that was like, I think that was Judd and a little bit Steven, like yelling together. in sync and yelling together, like what the fuck and how the fuck. Like that was so fucking amazing.
He knew what we were gonna do before we did it.
Yeah. Like the fact that Vidar was trying to react to this event, like honestly, and all we hear in the background is Judd yelling about like the how and the why and the when. Like Vidar's literally like you can't see him on camera because his camera doesn't work, but I can imagine he's just staring at his computer like, how am I supposed to react to this? And we just hear Judd in the background fucking just yelling about it. And then when Latha broke out, that was an even better reaction. He was Latha the whole time too. Yeah, that was so much fun. Like Latha, and then Cammy broke out. And they were like, "Is Cammy really Vidar's dad?" Like, yeah.
There's an imposter among us.
Like the fact that Yorrick is the only one that knows the full 100% truth about Cammy is beautiful, because when you guys return to the Vinum Valley, the way you explained it wasn't completely incorrect, but it wasn't completely correct either. It was like Yorrick's interpretation of what he personally went through and saw and heard. And it wasn't even the full truth. But I let it go. Like I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to correct him. Either he's doing it on purpose or he's doing it on accident. I'm not sure which. But I'm not going to correct him. Because like, that's right, but that's wrong. That's right, but that's wrong. And it just made it beautiful because now Yorrick is literally the only party member, not even Cammy. Yorrick is the only party member that knows 100% of what happened in that room. And he doesn't even know that he knows.
Yeah. That was just me getting way too into the character at that point and letting Yorrick take full control up here and just spew whatever he remembered.
Hell yeah. All right. Oh, yes. And a little bit of out of character. The MegaCon, Orlando, Florida, February. Is it 6 through 8, I believe? The MegaCon in Orlando, Florida.
Yes.
Myself and Tyler and our beloved Jill and Jake, the four of us will be attending that MegaCon in Orlando, Florida in February. It's 6 through 9, actually, for all 4 days. So like we are there representing Failed Attempt D&D. We're also there representing Jill's own personal arts store, but we're kind of combining the two. We are obviously there to meet our dream famous people. And we're not famous at all. But if you do happen to be in Orlando, Florida, or are coming to Orlando, Florida for the MegaCon, and you would like to meet up with us, we will be there. We're not going to have a booth or anything, but we will be wandering around somewhere. I will actually have, I went on to the merch store and I created, because we have Failed Attempt merch on there, and I have a shirt that has the symbol on it, which I actually, if Jill has time and doesn't mind, I would love it if she would draw us a fresh new symbol to represent failed attempt.
Yeah, I can pass that along to her.
Yeah. I think it's time for a new one. But yes, I went on there and I literally just put failed attempt D&D on the front of a shirt. And I think I put this, oh yeah, and on the back of it, I put the symbol that we're using now and all of the social media platforms that we are currently using. And I will be wearing that shirt when I go to the MegaCon. So that's the easiest way to find me. Plus a black ball cap because I'm going bald. So that'll be the easiest way to find me. I'll be wearing a shirt that literally in big red letters says failed attempt D&D on the front, and then blue letters on the back that says YouTube, TikTok, and all those other places. So with that, what the cheese stick segue. What are your hopes for the future of failed attempt?
I personally hope that we'll be able to grow stronger as a group. And continue staying as close as we are.
Fair enough. Yeah, that's, believe it or not, yeah, like I've told you privately, like I have no desire for like grandeur or any of that, but to make failed attempt D&D a career would be fantastic. It really would be. But I do. So the MegaCon we're going to go to in February in Orlando, and then Florida also has like Renaissance fairs that I want to go to where we can easily represent our game there. When I was in Vegas, I represented us the best I could by passing shit out without being too annoying. And then it was actually suggested to me, now that I have new technology, somewhere on this fucking table that I sit at to do this game, probably like back here, I have an iPad now that I'm going to be setting up, and we're going to be doing YouTube Live at the same time that we're going to be doing TikTok Live. I'm going to start utilizing that. So I'll have it pointed. I'll have the other camera pointed but muted so my voice doesn't echo, but I'll have it pointed in a way where it can see me and it can see all of you on the computer screen. So we'll be doing YouTube Live and TikTok Live at the same time, just to do it, because why not?
There's ways to hook your iPad to your computer, and you can capture the computer screen through so you can broadcast it to TikTok Live.
Yes, but
so instead of having like just a blurry image of us on the screen, you can actually do like a screen record.
I think I might actually have it right here because I think I have the right hookup. The charger cord for my
either
iPad,
that, or you have to use the browser version.
Oh my God, who uses the browser version of TikTok? That's disgusting.
The bad people.
I know.
The bad people.
Gross.
Anyway.
Yes. Before we go down that dark, windy road of TikTok browser. Gross. Anyway. Roll a d4 for psychic damage. Yeah. Dude, this has been fun. I really can't think of any other questions. Yeah, plot twist. I really can't think of any other questions at this time. I think we kind of like covered everything and answered everything, and it's been well over an hour and a half that we've been talking, but it's been fucking awesome, actually. Yeah, it's been fun.
It has been.
Hell yeah. It's kind of weird that I'm doing the interviewing. But I don't really have anyone else to do it. So
Nah,
at some point I'm gonna get like just two of you into Skype, and then I'm gonna disappear and I'm gonna have y'all interview each other. At some point that's gonna happen. Like I'm gonna go
I think
through
that'd be
and
interesting.
I'm gonna go through and interview all of you guys individually, and then at some point I'm just gonna grab two of you and put you in here, and I'm gonna walk away and have you interview each other, just to see how different it is when you're talking to each other versus me. Because I have a feeling that if I put you and Christian in a room, it wouldn't even be an interview. It would literally just be bullshitting. Like if I put Kara and Judd in the same room, it would not be an interview.
There would be very little interview.
It would just be the 15-minute horse joke. And then Judd would leave and it would be over. Like,
judging by his reaction, I don't think he would sit there. She would start the joke. He would just get up, leave.
you know what? I might actually even run a contest with that shit. I might put a contest out there that says, "Hey, I'm gonna bring you into Skype with Kara, and if you can sit through a 15-minute joke that has no point or punchline, I'll give you a discount code in the merch store." Like, I'm really tempted to see how many people could actually do it. I'm really tempted to see how many people could do it. Just like, hey, Kara, just sit in here on Skype with me. I'm gonna hop off and go onto social media, see if anyone's responded to this contest. Give them the link to join in, and when they come in, the moment they load in, just start saying it. Just start telling
Just go.
And if they make it all the way through to the end without leaving from boredom or whatever, because like I'm not going to tell them what it is. I'm just going to say, hey, I've got a contest that I'm running through Skype for free merch or a discount code on merch. Who wants to participate? And they're just going to come in not knowing what the hell it is. Not even just the horse joke. Like, just tell Kara, go off on a rant for 15 minutes about anything. Anything and everything. Whatever you want to talk about, make sure it's 15 minutes and make sure there is no rhyme or reason for what you're talking about. Just talk. And if they can stay in there for 15 minutes for the entire time, then they'll get the prize on the guy. Like, I'm so fucking tempted to do that.
The rants never fail to impress.
And just literally record it and put it into a fucking playlist on our channel. That just like rants of Kara. Or I might actually even bring that like, you know how I did like Mask of Many Faces, but I said Cami of Many Faces. I might just say Mask of Many Camis and just throw that on there as the playlist. And just put all those fucking, like, depending on how many there are, put them all in there. Because I wouldn't mind doing a bunch of those. I really wouldn't. Like,
that would be interesting.
Yeah. Like, throw the contest up, see how many people actually bite at it, and then get with Kara and say, hey, when you have a free couple of hours, let me know. Because we're going to do this. Like, I have X amount of people that are interested, so we're going to have some fun.
The content, though.
Yes. The Mask of Many Camis. And just literally just let her go. Like, I don't care.
Like that idea.
I don't care if it's 15 minutes of jokes that no one understands. I don't care if it's the horse story. I don't care if it's the snake story. I don't care what the hell it is. I really don't give a fuck. Just talk. Dark, weird, gross. I don't care. Just talk.
Just go.
Just go for it. and we're going to see who can stay in there and who can't. And like, not even one-on-one. I'll put the fucking link in there. Like, once I see how many people are interested, I'll just throw the link in and I'll say, come in and join. And
Battle Royale.
We end up with 10 people in the Skype, and she's just fucking talking, and people are leaving because they don't know what the hell's going on.
Whoever's the last one to stay.
Yeah.
Can get something.
Whoever lasts 15 minutes. Or is the last one to stay. It might be different. Like, if you last the whole 15, you'll get free merch. If you're the last one in the group, you'll get a discount code.
There you go.
Yes, dude. Oh, you said you needed something for Octavius's weird science, and I can't remember what you said you needed. I think. Because you don't need to know actual facts of Mundos for Yorrick, because his shit's supposed to be off anyway.
Right.
But I think you said you needed something for Octavius, and I cannot remember if you texted it to me or if you put it in Discord. I cannot remember. I don't know. I can't remember. Because he was supposed to be doing weird science. Like, I'm actually gearing up to have Garrison do his battle tactics and shampoo commercials. Which he said, yeah, that could work. I'll put something together. Skype or AirDrop? Which one? All right. But yeah, man, it has been really fun. So you and Jill are already taken care of. That's great. So I only have to get the hotel for 4 people, which is great. I might get 2 hotels. I might get 3. I don't know. Depends on what I have saved up at that point. It might have to be 1, and the 4 of us just get to know each other a little better. But I've got to get Jake's ticket. And chances are parking. I know Jill was worried about that, but chances are, I mean, there's 4 of us. So chances are, like, we're going to park at the hotel and we're all going to get in one car and go to the convention.
Yeah.
The big thing is that it's got to be 4 days. Like, we're there all 4 days.
Right.
So we're going to be going back and forth from the hotel to the convention for 4 times. Which is fine by me. I don't care. So I might get multiple hotel rooms just so that we can like spread out. But I do know that we'll end up coming together into one room to hang out. I don't know. We'll see. We will see. But yeah. Thanks for coming on, man.
Hey,
hell yeah.
Not a problem.
What is it right now? Monday?
It's Monday.
Fuck. Yeah, dude, there's
Why
been
is it
so
Monday?
much. I don't know, but there has been so much going on. It's so dumb. I told you guys that I was going to focus in on this shit like hardcore because it's like I'm, obviously a dedicated dad, but like after that, and when my kids don't want me in the same room, this is what I have. And it's getting so busy. It is getting busy. Oh my God, is it getting busy? Like, we actually had 17 people in our live on Saturday, which I think I started talking about and never actually finished. We actually had 17, which is like not views. We actually had 17 people in the live on Saturday. The highest view count we've had on a live is 43. But that's like the aftermath and over time. This last Saturday, we had 17 people in the chat room. Like at one point or another. Which was crazy and awesome. But yeah, dude. So we've got fucking Tuesday. Yeah, and so Tuesday we've got the Anus Talk pregame, which is the mental buildup for the game. Then that's when I post that is on Tuesday. Then on Friday, I post the recorded version of the live we did on Saturday, which is why I make the live private so that I can then upload it mainly for YouTube algorithm purposes to continue uploading on Fridays. Then Saturday, we go live with the new week. And then Sunday is now when I am posting the mental breakdown, which is the cool off period after the episode. Like this, what the fuck? And then these, believe it or not, I'm going to try, because I have to get more people in here to do this. I'm going to try to make this Mondays to like really squeeze in. So we're going to have Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Friday, and Saturday all covered. So like I'm not going to post this. Yeah. So like I'm not going to post this one up yet. I at least want to get a second one before I post this. Which right now would actually be the perfect time to post this because it's 9:30 on a Monday. Which kind of goes with everything else. But I don't want to yet because I'm not sure if I'll have another one before next Monday. And I would like it to be, I'd like it to be in sequence because it's not just you guys. Like I'm going to be putting the word out to my TikTok followers that I had on Not the Brightest Crayon when I was doing it actively. It was just people on there. But I'll be putting the word out to TikTok as a whole saying, hey, anyone in the D&D community that wants to come on and talk to a fellow D&D nerd and a game master, come on and let's chat and just hopefully resurrect it that way. But yeah.
Sounds good.
Man. Yeah, it's getting fun. All right. Yeah. Before we talk for another hour and a half, which I wouldn't mind, but before we talk for another hour and a half, I'm going to let you go.
Alrighty.
Alrighty. Have a good one, man.
You too.
Peace.
Peace.